Thank you for plugging into this Family Life News podcast, streaming issues-driven, family-focused news.
The cancel culture and its double standards, plus how the cancel culture is being spread from one generation to the next. This is Faith Under Fire. I'm Greg Gillespie on Family Life, and today a return visit from Dr. Paul Kengor, who is the director of the Institute for Faith and Freedom at Grove City College in Pennsylvania. He is also the editor of the American Spectator. In this conversation, we want to get to what's happening with the young generation, particularly in school curricula. But before we do that, this question of cancel culture and the ability to talk to and listen to and respect each other is not limited just to young people, is it?
People of faith in America today, you should have the freedom of conscience to disagree with the cultural revolutionaries on some of the issues that they want to shove down our throat.
Has there ever been an era where things are this divided and there isn't discussion and debate and search for compromise?
Well, Greg, people often say, right, it's the worst it's ever been, on this and that, and oftentimes it usually isn't. But I would say in that respect it is. I mean, this is truly a cancel culture, and I see it as a Christian conservative, not just from people on the left who really have started it with political correctness and false claims of diversity and tolerance, which you find out they really don't believe in diversity and tolerance as soon as you disagree with them.
What is going on that the culture has become so divided and that people on one side of a political aisle or the other cannot listen to each other, and those in the middle are caught in the crossfire?
This is the kind of moral, cultural insanity that the world and the culture devolves to once you break away from the idea of biblical, natural law and absolute. And once you let that genie out of the bottle, it's just going to be a complete cultural and social and relativistic madness, what the late Pope Benedict XVI called the dictatorship of relativism. That's where we're living under in America and the West. It's not pretty.
Traditionalists will say that that's something that's being indoctrinated in college and universities and has been for a generation. What's the state of academia in America right now?
Well, that's indeed where it's come from. It's come from the universities. There's no question whatsoever that it's come from the universities. And I saw all of this developing in the 1990s, early 2000s. And it's crucial that it happens in the universities because that's young people. And young people are the ones who work at Google, all the different social media platforms. They are kind of these invisible, anonymous faces, the anonymous power behind the cancel culture at Facebook and Twitter. So you'll put something up and it'll tell you that you violated whatever standards of whatever, that you are sowing disinformation. The whole COVID thing, that happened a lot too. And I've talked to doctor friends who will say, I had my account suspended because it was said that I was spreading disinformation. And when I demanded to know what disinformation I was spreading, no one told me. And I'm screaming at my computer wanting to find out who canceled me, who did this, who said that I'm guilty of something? Who's the person? Does the person have an MD? Does the person have a graduate degree? Who is this person who canceled me? And usually the answer is some faceless, anonymous millennial just out of a university who has this power. But these are the same people that are canceling over gender and marriage and all these other cultural, social issues. And to circle back, Greg, to your original question, they came out of the universities. It all started with the universities. And I guess maybe as kind of a closing thought, I would urge people listening to me, be careful where you send your kids to college. Be careful where you send them to college, because that college in 4 years can undo everything that you taught Johnny or Susie at home since the very first days that they were out of the womb until they left your house in the fall of whatever at age 18. Be very careful where you send them to college. It is crucial.
Our guest today on Family Life, Dr. Paul Kengor, who is on the faculty at Grove City College in Grove City in western Pennsylvania. He also directs the school's Institute for Faith and Freedom and is senior editor of the American Spectator. You can listen to Faith Under Fire Thursdays during the noon report on Family Life. We also provide it for you on our news podcast page, available 24/7. This is Faith Under Fire. I'm Greg Gillespie, Family Life News.